Hey guys, it's Adam from Intelligent Eating. I wanted to make a pizza for everybody today. The slightly different twists on it. A lot of people are trying to transition away from having meat and dairy in their diet, and so I thought, well, let's have a look at different ways that we can actually create pizzas doing such things and still enjoy the flavours of them. And this is particularly important for certain people who maybe want to lose weight, maybe looking to help themselves with type 2 diabetes or coronary disease, or maybe certain people possibly celiac disease, these type of things. So I just want to give you a rundown of the ingredients that I've got here, and then I'll show you the preparation, what we're actually going to cook, and then the finished product. So what I've got is I've taken a base. They're ready-made. You can buy them in most supermarkets. This one I bought in Waitrose. It's a gluten-free wholemeal base, so it's ready to go. Pretty straightforward. I've got a couple of large beefsteak tomatoes, they're called there, and a red onion. I've got some habanero peppers there, some shiitake mushrooms, some pineapple, some oregano, some spinach leaves, some nutritional yeast, which is something we'll come on to a little bit later, and some tomato puree as well. This one in particular is very, very low in sodium as well, so it's something to just focus on when you have a look, because some of the ones, these tomato purees, can have an awful lot of sodium in there, so that's worth having a look at. So what I do, I'm not going to bore you by showing you how to chop everything up, so we'll just move on and then I'll just show you what I've got actually ready made. Okay, so what I've been doing, to save you having to watch me do this, what I've done is I've preheated the oven first of all to 250 degrees Celsius, so that the oven's good to go, so that we can put the oven in. The important thing with pizza is to put the pizza into a hot oven straight away, otherwise it can end up burnt. So what we're trying to do is just get it so it's nice and crispy and it's got the good flavours to it. So what we've done here, I just chopped up the red onions, nice and simply, chopped these tomatoes up here as well, the peppers, the shiitake mushrooms. I've used those because they've got a very strong meaty flavour to them, which is an excellent substitute on a pizza. Chopped up the pineapple slightly, that keeps it nice and moist rather than using any kind of cheese. The oregano there just gives it that nice flavour, which is traditional, people associate that with pizza, so that's nice. And then some spinach there as well. So the first step we want to do, just to avoid this being too dry, is to take this base and take some of this puree that we've got here. It's just very simple tomato puree, and just put some on there. Don't need to use masses, but it doesn't matter how much you use. The idea of doing this really is just to make it so the thing isn't too dry, and also it will prevent the bottom from burning as well, since the puree predominantly contains water. What you could do, if you wanted to, would be to mix this with water, as it is pretty concentrated. But we're going to use quite a lot on this one, because we're going to make it quite a filling pizza. And something like this, you'd probably better serve, I would expect, probably 2 or 3 people quite comfortably with something like that. The fun bit is decorating a pizza. So, what we're going to do, we're going to start with these large slices of tomato. I think they call them beefsteak tomatoes or jumbo tomatoes, depending on exactly where you are. So we'll put these on there. That gives us 6 slices like that. There we go. And then we're going to put some red onion on. You don't have to use all of these ingredients. I used only about half a red onion, but it just gives it some additional flavours. And this is what this is all about, is if we're going to cook healthy, we want to cook something which is going to taste good. Otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's what we're looking for. We're just going to put a little bit on here. Then we're going to use some of these peppers here, different colours that we've got, just to give you a bit of variety. I'll put these on here. And then some of these shiitake mushrooms, which are nice meaty flavours, just to put these on. Like this. And already, as you can see, we're starting to end up with quite a large pizza. We're going to put some pineapple on there. And the reason we're going to put the pineapple on there is because it contains a lot of water. And that's going to stop the top part of the pizza burning. And that's where you traditionally would end up with the cheese that would burn. Once we've got the pineapple on there, and as you can see now, it's about 4 to 5 centimetres high. I'm going to sprinkle it with oregano, as you would do traditionally. Not huge amounts because it is quite strong, but we're going to put quite a lot. And then we're going to put some spinach just on top, just to give it a bit of flavour. And then what we're going to do with that, this is on one of these stone baked bases like this. It's going to put it in the oven, 250 degrees Celsius. It's probably going to cook for about 6-7 minutes, no longer than that. Doesn't need any longer than that. Okay, so that's been about, whatever it was, 6-7 minutes, something like that. You can smell when it's ready, because you can smell the flavours coming off all the vegetables that are in there. So what we'll do, we'll take this out now and we'll have a look at it. We'll see what we've got, the finished product. As I said, that's been at 250 degrees Celsius for 6-7 minutes. Use a very high heat for a good reason. We want to cook it but not end up burning it. And so that's what we end up with, is a pizza like this.
Smells good.
So what we can do from here, this is when I started talking at the beginning of it about nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is very, very straightforward. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but it's used essentially as a substitute for cheese. And it has a very nutty flavour. A lot of people like it. They find it has an excellent consistency to it. And as a substitute for cheese, it's perfect. It contains none of the cholesterol or saturated fats that cheeses do. And on a pizza, it's absolutely perfect. You could use a spoon if you like to put it on, or you can have a bit more fun and just sprinkle it over the top, just like that. Use as much or little as you like, and then we go from there. So what we'll do, if you take a plate, and what we'll do, you can actually see the dog has come over. He's actually so excited by this as well. So even animals are quite happy to eat this as well. So what we'll do, take a small pizza wheel, and we'll just go through and just take a slice. I'll just make one slice for the purposes of this. Very straightforward. And there we go. So that would give us a slice of pizza there, like that. And we can just cut it. Yes, it's going to taste slightly different to a normal pizza, of course, but what you're not getting in there is all the meats, all the dairies. Each slice of this sort of pizza is probably going to be around 100 calories. If you look at that at one of the pizzas that you might order from somewhere delivery, each slice could be up to 600 calories. And with all the artery clogging fats and animal proteins, all the other sorts of things. So something like this is very, very healthy. Quick, easy, cheap to prepare. And without a shadow of a doubt, the test is in the taste. And it's absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious.